Welcome to Aesthetic Archive, where we do deep dives into style, fashion, and couture. So we were going to talk about a few looks from the Tonys, but then we saw Cynthia Erivo had 10 looks through the night as she was hosting, so we're going to talk about those instead. I cannot think of a better person to host the Tonys than Emmy, Tony, Grammy winner, and Oscar-nominated Cynthia Erivo. So for her red carpet look, she's in Schiaparelli Spring 2025 Couture, and she's in this peach velvet ensemble with silver detailing. It's got silver beading, pearl accents, silver embroidery throughout the corset. It's also got this really great exaggerated shoulder detail. It almost looks like it's hovering over her body, and in comparison makes her waist look really small, which forms like a really nice silhouette. It's also got a bit of a vintage feel with the velvet fabric, the style of embroidery and shaping. It kind of makes it look like a museum piece. You can also kind of see the satin lining poking through the garment, which again kind of makes it look like it's a showpiece or an archive display garment. She's also got her signature jewelry stacks with mixed metal rings and earrings from FOPE and a half gold, half silver necklace. Mixed metals is a really difficult thing to pull off, but the gold matches the pink velvet and the silver matches all of the silver embroidery detail. So it's pulled together in a really nice way. So for her next look, she's in Marni Spring 2025 with a little bit more of an alternative look here. The dress has red roses and the silver detailing throughout. So towards the skirt, these roses start to only peek out from underneath these fabric cut feathers. She's also got platform heels, and this works really well because it changes the look from just an evening gown to a bit more of an alternative tea-length kind of style. This look has a lot less jewelry, which I think works because the thin straps show off all her tattoos, which works really well with the overall cooler, kind of more alternative style of this outfit. I also think this look complemented her nails the best with the red tips and silver detailing. Overall, it was a great starter look for the night. It's edgy, it's whimsical, and definitely giving a lot of drama. So this look is a custom GapStudio look by Zac Posen. It is a red sequin gown with these bright white contrast lapels and a belt. So this was worn during her opening performance with a choir. Initially, you'd think this looks really Christmassy, and I believe it was nicknamed Mrs. Claus, this particular look. But when you kind of look into it, it also looks very similar to Annie's red and white dress, especially with the big white lapels. And considering this is at the Tony Awards, this is a very plausible reference. Who knows? The waist detail being a bow, I think, is really cute. There's also this faux stitch line that's done on both the lapel and bow both, which is a nice little detail. Her wrist flare is kind of a surprising addition, but it balances out the very fitted long sleeve. And to top it all off, she's got a bright white shoe that sort of just pokes out of the bottom of the dress, which I think gives the overall look a really nice balance. So this next look is really fun. It is a Marc Jacobs Spring Fall 2025 look. And essentially it is this hot pink bubblegum hem gown. Silhouette-wise, the bubble shaping of this dress is very theatrical and whimsical. I also love that there's no high neckline as such, so the top sections help to elongate her body. And it also shows off her 3-heart tattoo really nicely. It would have been really easy for this dress to overwhelm her, but the proportions are balanced out beautifully, so it works well. My favorite element is actually the sequins. So they're these gigantic sequins that have the small detail of 3 stitch lines that you would see on a normal small size sequin, which I think is a really nice detail. Overall, it's super fun, quirky, theatrical, a really nice look. This look is an Ashi Studio Spring 2025 look, and it's a velour brocade trench coat. It's got an exaggerated flipped out collar, which almost makes it look like it's got a neck piece and opens up to these big billowing sleeves and a lovely wide skirt, cinched with a pointed corset at her waist. We are also back with the big platform pumps, and the tea-length hem rather than floor-length gives it a really good balance instead of overwhelming her with the big brocade detailing. Again, great balance. The jewelry is very minimal, but in a Cynthia Erivo way, which means she still got all of her stacks, but it's very light and delicate. So this dress is Richard Quinn Fall 2025, and it's a little bit different from the rest of the looks because it's a lot more vintage. It is a black and pink satin number with delicate black sequin embroidery all over the skirt, which is super subtle but shines through just enough. The pink waist detail and train balances out the black base of the dress to give it a nice softness. And the train is almost pillowy or duvet-like, which is very cute. This look is definitely an homage to 1950s elegance, and I think some inspiration from the iconic Grace Kelly, because this waist detail is very reminiscent of her wedding dress. Styling-wise as well, you have that old Hollywood style long opera glove and bracelet with a matching choker. Very classic and elegant. She can really do it all. So for this look, she's changed it up a little bit with a Dolce & Gabbana white tuxedo and lace corset. This tuxedo is in a buttery satin with these huge lapels which make it feel like a very classic tuxedo suit. It's a bit more laid back than the other looks with the undone bow tie, understated white shirt and pant. It kind of lets the tuxedo jacket have its moment. I like that the finish of the pumps are exactly the same material as her jacket lapels. And if you've noticed, pumps are also very much a part of her style signature. This is another Ashi Studio Spring 2025 look, and she is stunning. This outfit has an amazing peplum corset and flared pants, which are engulfed by this brilliant velvet cape, and the quality of this velvet is amazing. It's matte but just shiny enough to reflect the light just right. And the cape also has this silver and turquoise jewel details all over it, which almost makes it look like a constellation all over this velvet cape. Again, very simple jewelry to let this outfit shine. No explanation needed. It's an incredible look. And now we are at the Valentino look, which is a fully sequin gown from fall 2025. It's very retro and it feels a little bit art deco with the triangular details through the gown. Even the shoulder cape reminds me of flapper silhouettes from that era and shiny fringed gowns, very glamorous. The gold cuffs on the dress are also just poking out, so they cut up the black of the sequin very subtly. I love the illusion of the gold just melting onto the floor and pooling at her feet. Very retro, very glam, 10 out of 10. And now we are at the finale in a custom Paul Tazewell feather and crystal embellished gown. It's so fitting that this look is done by Paul Tazewell. He's an incredible costume designer renowned for costumes of Hamilton, the Wicked movie, and so much more. He definitely brought the drama because this look just screams musical finale. With its big off-shoulder feathers, super high slit, and even more feathers fanning out onto the ground. The two-tone purple embellishments scattered through the feathers are also so lovely and catch the light really well. As for the color of this dress, Cynthia Erivo won a Tony for leading actress in The Color Purple back in 2016, which was also her Broadway debut. And Paul Tazewell specifically mentions this was the inspiration for the outfit, which I think is really lovely. Celebrating this huge moment of her hosting the Tonys with a reference back to one of her first big wins. And for a bonus round, we have her after party look, which is an adorable sheer Givenchy look with this uneven tulle skirt and exaggerated shoulder top, and of course satin ballet style pumps with a tie-up bow feature to top it all off. I love each of these looks. They were all so different, and it's really visually exciting to see a host change throughout the night for each different segment. Cynthia Erivo also does have a really great distinctive style. It's very glamorous and very edgy, completely unique to her. This is super fun to do. I love musical theater and costuming, so the Tonys are always a really exciting time. Everyone's also gearing up for Wicked for Good, so maybe you can expect a video on that too. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you did, follow Aesthetic Archive on our social media platforms, and we'll see you soon.